Have you ever noticed something interesting? In a world where tattoos are everywhere, on social media, celebrities, athletes, even people you see every day, there are still some people who never get tattoos at all. Not one. Not even a small one. And what's even more interesting, many of them are not afraid of needles. They're not religious. And they're not against people who have tattoos. So what's really going on in their mind? Today we're going to explore the psychology of people who don't get tattoos and what it may reveal about personality, thinking patterns, and human behavior. Because the reason is deeper than most people think. Let's start with something simple. For many people, tattoos are a form of expression, a way to show identity, memories, beliefs, or creativity. But for some people, expression doesn't work that way. Some individuals don't feel the need to show who they are on the outside. They are comfortable keeping their identity internal. Psychologists sometimes connect this with a trait called internal validation. This means a person doesn't rely heavily on external symbols or approval to feel confident about who they are. They don't feel pressure to prove themselves visually because they already feel secure internally. And when you think about it, that's a very different way of seeing the world. Another reason has to do with how some people think about time. Some people live more in the present. They enjoy the moment and don't worry too much about the future. But others naturally think long-term. They often ask themselves questions like, how will I feel about this in 10 years? Will this still matter later in life? These people tend to be cautious with permanent decisions, and a tattoo is permanent. To someone who thinks long-term, permanence can feel heavy. Not scary, just unnecessary. It's not that they believe tattoos are bad. They simply don't see enough value to justify something that lasts forever. There's also something interesting about personality. Some people naturally resist trends, not because they want to be different, but because they don't feel influenced easily. They observe, they think, and then they decide for themselves. Psychologists sometimes associate this with independent thinking. These individuals are less likely to do something just because it's popular. Even if everyone around them is doing it, they still ask one simple question: do I personally want this? And if the answer is no, they're completely comfortable saying no. That level of independence is rare. Another factor is how people define beauty. Beauty is subjective. Some people see tattoos as art, others see beauty in simplicity. To some individuals, a natural, unmarked body already feels complete. It's not about judgment. It's about perception. The same way some people prefer minimalist design, while others love bold and colorful styles. Neither is wrong, just different. Now here's something most people don't talk about. Some people associate tattoos with impulsive decisions. Not all tattoos are impulsive, of course. But culturally, tattoos are sometimes linked with spontaneity, strong emotions, or important moments in life. And people who are naturally cautious, who like to think carefully before making decisions, may feel uncomfortable with anything that could be seen as impulsive. They prefer choices they can change later. A haircut can change, clothes can change, even careers can change. But a tattoo is harder to undo, and that alone is enough for some people to say, I'd rather not. There's also a psychological principle called loss aversion. It means people often fear loss more than they value gain. In simple terms, the fear of regretting a tattoo later may feel stronger than the excitement of getting one now. So instead of focusing on what they might gain, they focus on what they might regret. And that shapes their decision. But here's something important. Not getting a tattoo doesn't mean someone is boring. It doesn't mean they're judgmental. And it doesn't mean they're afraid. It often just means they think differently. And thinking differently is part of human diversity. If you really observe people, you'll notice something interesting. Those who don't follow every trend often make decisions based on personal meaning rather than social influence. They are comfortable being in the minority, and being comfortable in the minority requires confidence, because it's not easy to go against what everyone else is doing. At the end of the day, tattoos are a personal choice. Some people love them, some people don't, and both are completely valid. What matters most is understanding that behind every choice, there is a way of thinking, a mindset, a personality, a perspective shaped by experiences and beliefs. And when you start to look at people this way, you begin to understand human behavior on a much deeper level. So now I'm curious. What do you think? Do tattoos have deep meaning? Or do you think they're unnecessary? And if you've never gotten a tattoo, what's your reason? Be honest. I'll see you in the comments.